guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another one of our Patreon one-shots. This is our second one of the month. This one, of course, is our Glenbrook Chronicles crew. The GCC, if you will. This episode is called The House That Waited. We are now entering a level of Glenbrook Chronicles where I have said, I'm not doing this shit anymore, and randomly making up missions for you guys. I said, you guys have a bunch of shit going on in this town. You guys are curious. You figure it out. So for the past several Glenbrook Chronicles episodes, the players have been tasked with thinking about the mysteries they have unsolved or the clues they have found and telling me what they would like to investigate at this time. So they have chosen today's investigation points, and then I have riffed on that to come up with this. That being said, if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is just like these fine folks, and join us over on Patreon. A link in the description down below, or in the chat if you're watching live. Join us over there at the $5 tier. You can join for 7 days for free. You get access to all of our exclusive after shows, a whole bunch of other cool stuff. And we also have, I believe, one slot open here at the Patreon one-shot tier if you're interested in playing with us live.
If you want to join Glenbrook and make a kid to drive Mike crazy, there's space available.
That's what I need. More children in my life. While you're clicking on that link in the description down below, make sure you click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, bad things probably happen to these kids. And two, every single dollar goes back into this channel for all kinds of cool things like artwork and office construction and mortgages and bills. And just the fun things of life, you know. We are at one corruption bar, so take that as you will. With that, I turn things over to me. The year 1986, the place New England, more specifically Rhode Island, the home of Mercy Brown, America's first vampire, the site of many dark and lurid tales from the mind of HP Lovecraft, the home of the infamously haunted Perron Family, and now the site of one of the largest government research facilities in the world, the Loop. It has been 3 weeks. Yes, that maths. It's been 3 weeks since we last saw our kids in a two-part episode. I believe they were called Scavenger Hunt and Hollowed Out, where we had a near run-in, a very close call, where we almost lost Fish to another dimension.
I regret not jumping through that portal. Every day I regret it.
Everyone but Fish almost lost Fish to the portal, and Fish alone regrets not jumping in.
Yep.
It is Friday, April 25th, 1986. It is the night time. So my question to each of you, it is the night, dinners have been had, blankets have been tucked, in some cases foreheads have been smooched. Where do we find each of you after bedtime on a Friday? It's not a trick question. You guys can tell me wherever you are.
I mean, Danny, he's gonna be in his bed, probably grounded for something.
Aww.
Good.
Fine,
Yeah,
bedtime, Mike.
well, JoJo, you don't have anyone to be responsible for you, so...
I mean, if it's not super late, he would be in the mill. It's got a great floor for skating on, so if it's not super late, he'd be there. If it's getting really late, sleeping in the mill.
Okay. The clocks have leapt forward, and it is post-darkness of springtime. So it's probably like 9 o'clock. So it's a good, like, street lights are on. It's definitely a come home time here in the 80s. So we have Danny asleep like a good child, probably grounded.
Probably
Fish.
grounded. I never said good child. I said grounded.
Well, you know, I said you're a good child.
Last time Fish was at home, she I can't remember exactly what she said to her dad, but she said some pretty harsh things to her dad about the death of her mom.
Yeah, that
And
was
then,
some unkind words were said.
yeah, something about him not trying to save her or something like that. I can't really remember now. And then she climbed out the window and yeah. So I think things have been maybe pretty quiet between the two of them
Mm-hmm.
these past 3 weeks. Because when she failed to jump through the portal into another universe, she had obviously had to go home eventually. Um, so I think she has gotten ready for bed and she's waiting for the telltale signs of her dad going to sleep, whether that is in bed or in his lazy boy. And she is going to escape out of the house or out of the apartment.
Okay, and where do we find Dee Dee?
Um, I think we find Dee Dee. She's in her bed and she is under a blanket with a flashlight on. And she's wearing her pajamas, but her pajamas are really clearly over her day clothes. And she's wearing a pair of skates in her bed. And she's picked up a sorry, what do you call one of those? A
Walkie-talkies?
walkie-talkie. And she turns it on and she says, Dee Dee to JoJo, Dee Dee to JoJo, come in, JoJo.
Jojo would pick it up and goes, Dee Dee, aren't you supposed to be asleep?
Operation Bring You Dinner is in progress. I'll be right there. And then she turns it off and powers it off. And then she climbs out her window, skates and all. I don't know how well that works, but she makes it happen. She makes it work.
Very clunky.
I like it.
She doesn't hear him respond because Dee Dee, you don't need to. It's fine. Dee Dee? Dee Dee? Oh, shit.
For a unrelated mechanical task for only you, Melissa, I need you to, somewhere in your character sheet, indicate a birth date for Dee Dee.
Okay.
As the years progress, your age becomes relevant. I just checked,
What
and
happens in the campaign?
no one has aged since our last session. So Fish, you are waiting for the telltale sign of your father to be passed out. What's your intention after such time?
After she can confirm that he's asleep, because usually he's a very heavy sleeper, so once he's out, he's out. She will probably go out the front door unless some weird thing that she's gotten used to climbing out her window and going down the drain pipe. So as soon as she's waiting, she's waiting. So as soon as it's clear, she's going and she's going to meet up with the others. Because I think she knows about Dee Dee's plan to get JoJo his dinner.
Now, just for my own curiosity here, Danny lives in a perpetual state of flux between fear of and actually grounded. Has anyone informed Danny of any sort of plan here?
Fish would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Danny, whether you do it or not, you know there is a plan to escape in the night, and go to the hideout.
Can we say that there's in the 3 weeks we would have had acquired some walkie-talkies? Like everyone has one?
I believe you do all have some from a previous encounter.
Sure, I'll take it.
So
I'm
yes,
not gonna say no.
you have been equipped with them.
Okay, then I will put it on my item sheet.
You hear Fish. You hear you hear singing coming from the living room. you hear singing and cheers and applause that abruptly stops and changes to some kind of a commercial. A few minutes of commercial time goes by, and you hear an announcement that you heard an announcement on the TV of a recap of news of people winning an award for country and western singing.
What day was this? April 26th?
This is April 26th.
Oh, shit.
April 26th.
1986?
You hear the news change over from a recap of like social things happening in the world to a discussion about an experimental aircraft crashing in a flight test over in New Jersey. And then the news continues on and continues on, and eventually, over the sound of that, you hear, the sound of snoring in there, and you know that your father is good and well asleep.
Cool.
So we see a scene of Dee Dee clambering out of the. I imagine, for the sake of safety, a one-story bedroom and into a thicket of brush as we just see, like, Dee Dee emerge like a goblin out of the bushes, roller skates on, ready to zoom in the direction. We see JoJo sort of talking into the walkie-talkie to no avail in the well-lit hideout here in the Stillwater Mill. And we see Fish descending from a drain pipe of her apartment. Or not a drain pipe, probably the fire escape. Down a fire escape in her apartment.
That sounds a little more better.
Yeah. Danny, are you joining this?
Well, it would be kind of a boring episode if I didn't. So, of course.
Listen, I'm here to do whatever you want. I'm here to react to you. Okay?
I know. No, I was thinking about it. Yeah, I'm gonna spin off on that. If Danny had been told about the plan, I mean, he still really do like his friends, and he doesn't want to be the kid that doesn't show up to a planned escape and get away, especially on a Friday night when the stakes are much lower because it's not a school night. So he will not be able to go out, I would imagine, but he will definitely try to climb out on the outside of his window down to the first floor on those, what do you call them? You know those things you have for plants to grow on the outside of your house?
Trellis?
Yeah, I imagine that the Sørensons has like that thing set up, and he uses that to get out when he's grounded on the upper floor. And then he's gonna have like his walkie-talkie turned off, take his bike and go like almost a full block away before even daring to turn it on the slightest volume, and you can hear like the last end of JoJo's like, "You don't have to," and then it's like, but I wanna come. Over?
So you hear that, JoJo. You hear, but I want to come, and it's absolutely Danny's voice.
JoJo laughs to himself and says, "Well, you still can."
All right, I'll be right there. Over, out, over and out. Yes. Click.
And I think Fish's voice comes in at that point. It's like, I'm clear. I'm on my way.
JoJo, knowing that Dee Dee is on her way, he's going to go and set up little ramps in the on the flatter sections, but not big ramps because he doesn't want Dee Dee to injure herself. But he's going to make sure that there's like an obstacle course all set up that he would have been half skating around.
Okay. So you set up this thing. We see everyone sort of in their respective escapes, running and or skating down the street here.
I'm gonna take a slight detour.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know how detoury it is, but I think Fish has been doing this almost every night. But she hasn't told anyone else that she's been doing it. She's going to skate or bike by that house, the house from 3 weeks ago.
okay. I was like, you guys have been to so many houses. I need a
The house.
the
Mike,
house.
the house.
Yeah.
Of course, the house.
Yeah.
How could I, be so confused by which house you meant? Outstanding. Would anyone? You tell me. I have an idea, but you tell me. Would anyone here have been concerned with the state of the world as it was? No.
I mean,
at this moment, but
it's the 80s, and my parents are Swedish, so I think there's a general level of concern from Danny's point of view.
Okay. Okay, great. I love that.
You do know that Russia is like one country away from us. If Finland falls, we're next.
Hey, perfect. So Danny, there has been, given what your parents do for a living, and geographically where half of them are from, there has been conversations in your house for the past 24 hours or so, of a very concerned, albeit hushed tones, right? Not an alarmist sort of response, but they also treat you fairly adult, given your criminal proclivities with your friends. They do treat you as mostly an adult. You have heard, and anyone who would be paying attention to like teachers in school. No one's really talking about it outright in school, but like you maybe hear like snippets of teachers. Danny, you are well aware, whether this affects you mentally or not, that there's big goings on in the world, and that despite the fact that that today is, or sorry, not the past 24 hours, the past 24 hours, that there has been a world-changing event that happened in Russia just 24 hours ago, and that the fourth tower of Chernobyl melted down, causing massive chemical leaks, nuclear chemical leaks. So your parents, given their jobs in the loop and dealing with what they deal with, have been talking about that. That has been a thing you are aware of in the USSR. That being said, the three of you race down various streets. Fish, much like the every other time you have gone by the house, nothing has changed from the last time you have gone by it. However, Dee Dee, as you skate like Speed Racer down the streets, JoJo, as you try to build ramps, and places to go, and Danny, as you run through the area, Fish, as you stand by this house, you all experience total darkness. As all at once, the lights across Glenbrook go out. The streetlights are out. There's no emergency lighting. The houses, their lights go out. And all of you are plunged in darkness. What do you do?
Question, Mike.
Yes.
So the mill doesn't have power. We have camping lanterns. Do those go out as well?
They do.
Okay. So I can assume that the bike lights also go out then.
I have to do this. I have to stop and do this. G, because you tried to actually me and say that
I didn't do it out loud. I didn't do it out loud.
that in Russia, Chernobyl exploded at 1:30 in the morning on the 26th. 1:30 in the morning on the 26th is Friday night in America.
Yeah, I know, but you said like 24 hours they were talking about it, and so it would have just happened.
No, it would have been 6 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah, which is Friday right now.
Oh, it's Friday right now. Fuck. In my notes, it's the 26th.
You said the 25th, so.
Damn, you got me. So it would have been just the past few hours this has been happening, Danny. You did get me,
I can imagine that this was an actual big event in Sweden, so my mom would, like Danny's mom, would probably have been listening to the Swedish news, since it was very close.
Yeah.
I remember in real life, my mom was pregnant with me when this happened, and it was a big scare because all the radioactive activity blew over from Ukraine into Sweden.
Yeah.
Guys, he said it. Iquin said he has an
know.
age.
We already
we have-
established it because you're kneeling down. So for you all to feel more comfortable, I now have an age for you. Do
And
you
he
feel
also
more
has
secure?
the Scandinavian immortality gene. So.
So backdate that April 26, 1986.
Okay, so it is the 26th?
Well, it'll Saturday is the 26th.
Yes.
Currently, it is Friday night.
Okay, 25th.
I said what I said. The 25th.
Yes, but then you're like, backdate it.
So, well, it would have been the 26th in Sweden.
Yes,
So,
we would have.
you are all plunged into abject darkness, camping lights, everything. What are you
So
all
I think for Dee Dee, she's on her roller skates, right? And she
Correct.
starts to like it startles her at first that the lights have gone out, and she turns on her roller skates in order to look around to see if there's any lights. And somewhere around, like when she's turning around, she forgets what she's doing and she's having fun now, turning around, and then she's just going into a spin.
I love
And
that.
it's like totally forgotten that lights have gone out.
I love that. Fish, Danny, JoJo, what are you doing?
I think the lights go out like right when she's stopped at the house, like at the base of where the driveway would be, and she's looking, and like there's no weird like points of like gravity or anything. It's just empty. Okay.
Yep.
But like and she's just standing there looking, and she doesn't know what she's looking for, but she's looking for something. Maybe something will like happen. So, but when the lights go out, she like perks up on her bike and she like throws it down and jumps off, and she runs into the yard, and she's just like looking around.
You look around, you see nothing in here. You don't feel like a static electricity raising the hair on the back of your neck. You don't feel any, like, you don't smell ozone. There's nothing that's happening here in this neighborhood.
Okay. And then after a few minutes, she probably would have, if the lights don't come back on, I don't know, but she would have made it back to her bike.
Okay. So you make it back to your bike. Are you trying to head back towards the stars are out, so you can still, like, it's not like you're like completely plunged in darkness, but you can still navigate via the stars, via the moonlight. Danny and JoJo, what are you doing?
So JoJo, he's going to pick up the lights and he's going to whack them, and realizing they're not coming on, he's going to pick up the walkie-talkie and just says, if anyone hasn't left yet, can you bring some batteries? The lights have all died.
You click the walkie-talkie, and no static comes back.
He just shakes his head then. He's going to walk over to the chalkboard if they've got one, and he writes batteries on the board.
JoJo, go ahead and roll me an investigate.
My best skill, Mike.
I try to only have you roll your best skills.
No successes.
No success.
On one die. Shocking.
I love that for you. Okay, perfect. You do that. Danny, what are you doing?
I would think that he also gets shocked, like tries to, while he's bicycling, just whack his front light. When it doesn't work, he's just gonna do his best to continue in the darkness, trying to use the like moonlight and stars and things, and also the knowledge of having gone this way several times by now. Kind of feel a bit nicer, because if it's dark, it means that his omnipresent parents can't see him.
That's
It
true.
makes sense to a kid.
Danny, go ahead and roll me an observation or an investigation.
Investigation. I am twice as good as Chris is in this. 0 successes.
Outstanding. Fish, you get back to your bike and you continue your journey as well. Once you leave the burbs of this area and head back to the main road, you too can roll me an investigation.
All right, watch it go. 2 successes.
Outstanding. And just for funsies, Dee Dee, once the spinning makes you sufficiently nauseous enough to remember where you are going, or the bag starts to rip of whatever you're holding, and you remember that you have a mission, you too, as you continue your journey, can roll me an investigation. Dee Dee.
1 success.
And Fish, as you move down your respective streets towards the hideout, you see a single point of light in the distance. It is not on your path. It is off to the western side of Glenbrook. But you see a single point of light. It looks, for all intents and purposes, like a stout building, perhaps a home. Fish, with 2 successes. That's the Johnson residence.
So it's the ground level. It's not like in the sky. Okay.
Yep.
I think when she sees that, she slows down and comes to a stop. And she will pull out the walkie-talkie and pull up the thing. And she will go, is the walkie-talkie working?
You click it and you get no static feedback.
Okay, she's like, guys. And she bangs it. Guys. Hello? And she shakes it and turns it off, turns it on. With the antenna.
All the troubleshooting steps, yep.
Yeah.
You take the back cover off and you roll the batteries and you put the back cover back on.
And then it takes it off like you're like
They need to do the Nintendo treatment.
Nintendo. And then she puts the things back on and hello? Oh no. If you guys can hear me, I think there's something at JoJo's house. I'm going. And then
You take
she'll
off?
start. Actually, no, I don't want to go by it. She's gonna keep heading to the mill.
Okay. Eventually, I'll say you meet up with. I'll say since you were waiting, so you're probably the last one to leave, I would imagine.
Yeah, I feel like, and because she's been taking that detour,
And the detour as well, yeah.
she's oddly been showing up late, or like the last one to arrive.
Perfect. So by the property that bikes are faster than roller skates, eventually, Danny, you will see I think you've seen her in passing, and you've heard of her, right? And for
That
an
mystery
update,
child that just goes through time and places.
yeah. And just for an update, a seasonal update, Melissa, what does Dee Dee look like in the spring? We've seen a lot of winter outfits, but what do we see? What does Danny see of this this roller skating 12-year-old in the darkness of this town?
So I guess she's not wearing her knit cap, but she is wearing her aviator goggles, and because she's going very, very fast, she's wearing her goggles down over her face. As always, her hair's kind of sticking out a little bit, but I think that because it's not controlled by a cap in the spring, it's like in tiny little braids that kind of stick out all over the place a little bit because she doesn't wash her hair very often, so it's kind of like anyway, there's a lot of grease going on with that. She still has her little impish face. She's got this cute dusting of freckles across there. She's wearing the red overalls, but it's over like a lighter shirt, and she's not wearing the big old winter jacket. And in this case, she has removed her pajamas, but there's still like a little note that has been pinned to her overalls and from the day before, and on it says "No caffeine, please."
Like a gremlin. Don't feed after dark.
Please do not caffeinate.
Yeah. Do not get wet.
Ever. 3 underlines.
I love that.
So, Danny, you see, not that you're much older, right? You're the ripe old age of 13.
13.
But the teen in 13 is very significant at that age.
I am a year older.
Yes.
Please, sir. I
So-
am a much older, much more wiser gentleman to this little kid I'm seeing.
So, in the world of ages, for children, you see what is ostensibly a child, who has no business being outside. You, a teen, a wiser, basically an adult at this point. You see this kid, roller skating. Dee Dee, what are you carrying as a bag of food?
Oh, she's got her backpack on, and there's some
Okay.
food in
Okay.
the backpack. And I think she approaches at a really fast speed, and then she kind of like spins to a stop in front of Danny. And I think they haven't ever actually met.
Yeah.
And I think maybe at this point, like we're gonna pull back, and there's gonna be like a different camera angle, and you're seeing things from Dee Dee's perspective, because there's Danny, this mature boy. What do you have, like blonde hair?
I have blonde hair. I'm kind of lanky, but like fit. Usually have like my obi, the green belt from my martial arts that is specially sewn on side of my jacket that I have on.
So Dee Dee sees this blonde-haired, mature boy who's fit, and behind this boy is like the gibbous moon. Gibbous, is that how you pronounce it? And it's lighting up his hair, and the light breeze is blowing through it. And then she just stops, and then she kind of like half smiles, and then that's it.
Oh. Hey, kid, aren't you out a bit late? Aren't you kind of young? Oh, sorry,
here.
sorry. Oh, sorry. Continue. What were you saying?
I am here to see JoJo. Hi, I'm Dee Dee. I'm Dee Dee Miller.
Oh, sorry. I'm Danny Sörensson. Oh, you're also. I was on my way to see JoJo.
You look really fast.
Oh, thanks. I guess I do run track sometimes, and I have my bike that's pretty fast. Are you fast? Like those goggles look that you could be fast.
She pulls her goggles up, and she looks down at herself, and she sees that she has like that note stuck to her overalls, and she like pulls it off, and she throws it off. Yeah, I'm really fast. Hey, yeah, we should go. We should go see JoJo.
Right. Yeah. I shouldn't let a kid run around alone at night, I suppose. Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. Let's go to JoJo. Raise you there, and he's gonna definitely wait for her to get a head start.
Oh, and of course, Dee Dee doesn't even notice that. The moment the word race started, she was already at.
You're gonna see like Danny sort of react like, "Oh shit, she was fast," and like, ah.
Nice.
I love the idea that that Danny seems fit when in my mind he has all of the muscle definition of Ralph Macchio of Ralph Macchio in The Outsiders. So before he was even in Karate Kid, so like a year prior to Karate Kid, you could take your thumb and your middle finger and wrap it entirely around his bicep.
I'm sorry. I wrote in. Let me read. Fit kid, but not overly muscular.
Yeah.
In my character sheet.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I put it there before the game even started.
It's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. All the muscle definition of a 13-year-old boy. Perfect. So the two of you begin racing to the hideout. Jojo, I think you hear from inside the sound of the door opening, and the clatter of like half step, half slide wheels, clacking on the floorboards, and the sounds of people entering, into the actual, the hideout. I think a few minutes later, Fish, given your stop and given your like looking at the Johnson house, and like debating where to go, I think you arrive a few minutes later.
Yeah, I think you guys hear the clamoring from Danny and Dee Dee, and then a few minutes later you hear clamoring from Fish, and she's like, guys! And you hear her calling and her footsteps running up the steps.
The group has arrived.
Danny's gonna make a big deal out of Dee Dee winning because he's like gonna be like, yeah, I'm the older kid. I'm supposed to let the younger kid win and then be like a good role model kind of thing.
Did you like that?
Oh yeah, you were super.
I spit
I
on
was
the
so
right
close to getting
monitor.
it to keep it together, Mike.
I totally spit on my monitor.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
This has been a weekend, Melissa. This has been... Oh, shit.
Yeah, you're super fast, kid. That's nice. Dee Dee, was it? Yeah. Oh, nice to finally have someone to race against. I usually do it with Shane. Wait, what's his name?
Shane.
With Shane, but you're really really fast. I could barely
I
keep
always
up.
beat Shane. I always beat him every single time.
Oh, nice.
Shane's
Hey,
a pleb.
JoJo.
Jojo looks at Danny and goes, she embarrassed you, didn't she?
I mean, you're gonna see Danny's going to try to do the winking thing to JoJo. Yeah, definitely, flat out, stood no chance.
I imagine
Jojo
the
laughs.
like exasperated, out of breath, unable to control your volume. You like that?
Yeah, just yeah.
If Dee Dee goes past, Jojo's just going to put out his hand to high five her as she goes wheeling around. And he
Yeah,
just
she'll high five on the way to the ramps, and she is now enjoying the obstacle course that has been laid out.
It is still dark in here. I know that's not going to stop Dee Dee. I'm just putting it out there for the adults in the room. That it is still pitch black inside this building.
Yeah, and then you hear Fish like, guys, and you hear thump thump, ow, then like thump, 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 thump. And she comes up, and then you hear like a crack, like ow, and she runs up.
Did you guys bring batteries?
No,
Everything's dead.
the walkie-talkies are dead too. But you guys all made it. Guess what? And she looks at
What?
JoJo. Something's going on. Come on, we gotta go to the roof before it goes away. Quick, come see. And
What?
she's gonna run up to the ladder that takes them to the roof. Come
Um,
on.
Dee Dee, kid, come. Something awesome is happening on the roof, and he doesn't want to leave her alone in the darkness, roller skating an obstacle course.
I'm sure.
Dee Dee, we're going to the roof. Come on.
Jojo knows better. He just leaves her.
Yeah, Dee Dee's having fun on the ramps.
Okay. Oh. She will go up to the roof. JoJo, hurry, quick.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Is Danny coming too?
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna try. I mean, he's a kid. He's not an responsible adult. He tried. That's it.
So at least the three of you get to the roof. Go ahead.
She grabbed JoJo's hand and like pulls him towards like the west side of the building, and hopefully the light is still there. And she's gonna point. Look.
I'm assuming he recognizes that the location is his house.
You would. It's your house.
What's left of it?
There were no lights when I left.
Well, yeah, like there was not even anything to light. Remember? It was so burnt down.
Burglars? He says like he himself sounds very questionable about putting that out there. Burglars?
Jojo turns his head really slowly and looks at Danny and goes, "There's nothing to
Danny
steal."
Yeah, Danny like had picked up on it. So he's like, well, I don't have a better idea.
Yeah, like maybe like, but we took the TV. What was that kid's name? So and
Billy
so's TV.
Duncan?
We took Billy's
Billy
TV.
Yeah, asshole.
You know,
And
the
Duncan.
famous Billy Duncan?
yeah,
Gonna punch him so hard when he comes out of
Billy
there.
D TV. Yeah. So I don't know what else is out there, but like how that's the only light, and like nothing else is working.
Is have, have they repaired the house? I mean, I haven't been around in ages.
I don't think so.
You wanna
But
go check
and
it
JoJo
out?
looks around as well. I'm assuming there is not another building lit.
That is correct.
Is that correct?
You
When
wanna
she
go
kinda-
check it out, Jojo? I mean,
Yeah, she lowers her voice just so like the three of them can hear it. Like there's like somebody who could be listening. What if your parents are back and it's them?
So why would they be the only ones with power?
I don't know. Maybe they have magic shit from the loop.
yeah.
What? How would they get magic shit?
How did my parents get magic shit in our house? They just grown-ups. They turn up with magic shit.
Your
Yeah.
parents do smart things in the loop.
Yeah, in the loop. They're not supposed to have
Yeah.
magic shit in a weird alternate of our house.
My parents don't do smart shit in the loop either.
Well, how do
How
you
do you
know?
know? See, Fish
'Cause I
knows
know
what's
what
up.
they do.
Do you? I have no idea what my parents do.
They work as janitors.
Well, that's what
Cover up.
I would tell people if I was doing
Yeah.
secret stuff.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
if you were a
I'd tell them
spy,
I'm
would you
doing
say,
cool
hello,
things.
I am a spy, I do spy stuff? Or would you say, hello, I'm a janitor, I clean up? Which one would a spy do? I'm not saying your parents are
mean-
spies, I'm just saying that maybe they do like magic shit for the loop.
Or like like lowest case scenario, they know their house burnt down, so they were able to borrow some stuff to come rebuild it.
Maybe they came home to clean up.
Maybe they found the what?
Maybe they came home to clean up.
Yeah, they're like, and they were like, "Where's my kid?" You know, 'cause that was a while ago.
Dee Dee has now remembered that she saw the light on at JoJo's house. And so she's gonna come out of the mill and head towards the street and yell up at the roof and say, "Hey, hey, the light was on at JoJo's house and the lights are off everywhere else. I'm gonna go there."
Wait for us, we're
I
coming.
wanna go there too.
Or just
Man,
"Oh,
we need
shit," and he's gonna run.
like a rappelling rope from the roof. None of this going back down. Through
Absolutely
the
not. I will not.
That would be so cool. We should need that, or
Fast
like
rope.
a pole or a rappelling rope, or both. We could race, pole down, rappelling rope down.
Listen, you have a conspiracy board, a strange Nintendo, a hammock. That's all you get. That's all you get. A kid that lives there for the past 5 months. That's all you get.
Yeah, like it's been a fucking long time.
Since November,
get-
so
yeah.
5-6 months.
Would
So-
JoJo have installed a rappelling rope?
No.
Look how bored he is.
No.
So if JoJo's like lagging at all, she will grab his hand and pull him along.
Oh, he is running. If Dee Dee's going, he knows that he's going to have to put foot to get there as quickly as possible. To at least keep up.
Yeah.
Dee Dee, do you
She's
wait
on
for anyone?
roller skate. No.
Okay,
She
I just
She doesn't wait for anyone.
it
Ever.
was a stupid question, but
He
I
breaks for
feel
no
like
one.
I had to ask. Okay, okay.
What is
She's
this
got her
weight
goggles
you're talking
back
about?
down and she is skating down the hill, you know?
Perfect.
She's picking up speed.
So the three of you clamber out of the hideout, and you see that Dee Dee did not wait, and is a good 30, 40 feet ahead of you. Fish, your bike, Danny, your bike is down there. JoJo, what has been your means of transport? Because you have your skateboard, but have you acquired a bicycle in these last 6 months?
I think JoJo would have legally acquired a bicycle. I think
Very
because he works at the metal shop, I reckon it's probably something that he's picked up parts from the scrapyard.
Yeah.
And repaired a frame and got something working through work. So he's got like an old busted up BMX.
I love that. I love that. One wheel's like a touring wheel, and one wheel's like a mountain bike wheel.
Yeah.
Just doing your best. So the three of you hop on the bikes and chase after Dee Dee.
Yeah. Hauling
On
ass.
bicycles, fairly easy to overtake a roller skating 12-year-old. You can speed up to her as quickly as possible as you are all headed towards the Johnson residence.
Speed up to a 12-year-old on skates, yes, but can we catch Dee Dee?
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's for shits and
Time for a
giggles.
move roll.
For shits and giggles, everyone
Yeah.
give me a move roll.
All right, let's go.
You raise a good question.
1 success for me.
2 successes. Told you.
Nice. Oh, the love
Fate
fairies
but not
are
muscular.
reaching.
So the Karate Kid and the Speed Racer are neck and neck, racing to the Johnson residence. JoJo, you have 2 different size wheels. In no world, yeah.
And the handlebars aren't quite straight, so when he's riding, the wheels slightly off.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a challenge.
It's like what happened was someone threw it away, so one of the handles was bent in, and you bent it back, so one goes straight and one's kind of cockeyed. So you're always kind of like a weird shape as you drive. So in no world were you going to catch up. I would like one more move roll from each of Danny and Dee Dee, just to see if we can determine who is the winner here.
Fish is going with JoJo.
Okay, you realize that JoJo's never going to get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Dee Dee win, but this time I'm going to do my best to not make it excruciatingly so, but just barely win.
All right, let me see the roll. I want to see how good you do in this.
I need to use my goggles.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an extra d6. Just roll 1d6.
I haven't rolled
sorry.
yet, so.
Oh, you haven't rolled yet.
Don't I get a plus 2?
You get 2. Yep, plus 2.
And I get 2 bonus die. Is that how that works? It's been a while.
That's the
Yeah.
plus 2. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Holy fuck.
Um.
Oh my god.
All right.
Danny thinks he's going to win.
My plan succeeded all along.
So here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. There's a moment, right, where we see like the mood is bright and like Fish hangs back with JoJo, and we see Danny's like woo, 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 like pedaling, and Dee Dee's going like T1000 just going. And then they're neck and neck for a moment. And Danny has that like that teenage good guy gene just sort of like fires off, and you see him pedal a little bit slower. And there is an exact inverse correlation between how he slows down a fraction, and Dee Dee looks over, and we see that anime light up as she like woo just goes. And Danny realizes that there is no need to slow down, as Danny's like trying to keep up at this point, and Dee Dee is like if fire could come out like like Back to the Future, that's what we would see.
Love that.
And we get one of those like
Dan is definitely gonna fight it to not be not to be too far behind and get ridiculed again.
Yeah. So you do your damnedest to keep up. And the brake trail of Dee Dee skidding to a halt on the roller skates is at least 10 feet long. There's a groove in the rubber of the stopper on these roller skates. As Dee Dee, by a while, you are the first person to arrive at the Johnson house. And as you do, and as your companions catch up to you, Danny, I assume, breathing heavy, Fish and JoJo, more at a relaxed pace.
Okay, kid. That was actually really impressive. High five.
Win!
You won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Actually impressed. Whew.
You were pretty fast, too.
Thank you. I really need to work out more on cardio. I need to tell Shane that.
Fish and JoJo, you arrive. You're not sure if there's a moment happening here, but either way, you arrive. And you see
I think they're
before
oblivious to this.
Yeah. Like most 13-year-olds are.
Yeah.
You arrive here, and Fish, JoJo, and and Dee Dee, you've all been here before. Danny, I don't think you've been here. I don't recall.
I don't think so either. I don't recall a single time where I had a scene at this house at least, so I don't think I've been here.
But Fish, JoJo, and Dee Dee, if you recall, the last time you were here, I believe the house was in shambles. To which you retrieved a strange TV, took this TV for a good jaunt, and have any of you been back since you took that TV?
When was that? In February?
Oof. Let's see here. That would be Picture Perfect would have been. No, Picture Perfect was not that one. Echoes of the Forgotten, I think.
No, it was Winter Whispers.
Winter Whispers. That's right. Part 1 and Part 2. That was January.
Yeah. January. Okay. So I think she would have gone back, but it wouldn't have been like the recurring one with the house. I think she would have gone back maybe like a couple weeks and then eventually given up on it.
Okay. So you would have gone back like in January and in February.
Yeah. But by March, she probably would have moved on.
You stand in front of the Johnson residence of some 1 year ago. The house is fully built. The lawn is overgrown. There are piles of newspapers on the front porch. The mailbox is stuffed and overflowing with mail. And all of the lights in the house, in every room, are on.
I think she is shocked and she looks at JoJo.
I imagine as JoJo used to skateboard, does skateboard, there's probably parts of the house where there was scuff marks from the board catching on it when he's trying to do tricks or whatever. Sure. He's going to look to see if any of that sort of telltale signs that it is or was his house and is not being rebuilt in some strange way.
On the exterior of the house, every nook and cranny that you remember is there. The house looks exactly as you remember it from, let's say, October of 1985, right? Because the last time when you sort of smashed the house up was in November. So just prior to that, this house looks exactly like it did in October.
Didn't you guys say that house burned down?
Yeah.
JoJo just nods.
She wants to go up, but she's not going up first. She's going to let JoJo go first.
He's going to start to walk towards the house, but he's going to stop at the mailbox, which he said was overflowing. And Correct. He's going to just pull out a single item and look at the name on it.
The name on it, it's the 80s, and, you know, things happened. It is, oh, Christ, where in my notes? It is your dad's name, which I lost in my notes.
I can't remember their names.
Dad Johnson.
Perfect.
So, yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay. So it is the Johnsons. It's not other people's names. Again,
Correct.
So he slowly then walks. He just drops that on the ground, and just slowly walks towards the house. I'd like to say towards the door and I can't remember if there's a window next to the door.
There is. It's sort of like a ranch house. So there are there's probably like a window on one side that's like your parlor, and then a window on the other side that leads to like where the dining room would be.
Okay, he's gonna walk up towards the house and stop at one of the nearest windows and look inside.
The house interior looks exactly like you recall, minus Sorry, it looks exactly like you recall before your parents left for work. So for months, you lived in what an adult would call squalor, what a teen would call the perfect lifestyle. The house looks cleaned, but not cleaned in a way that is like surgical, in a way that is like the way a mom would clean on a regular day basis, not when expecting company. Right? So there's no dust bunnies. There might be a couple of like magazines on the coffee table. The remotes are sort of placed haphazardly, but everything in the house looks clean and not how you left it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like you said, the outside looks like every nook and cranny looks the same.
Mhm.
Like other than the interior being clean, does JoJo recognize? Like I remember one time he said he was shooting the light switches with his BB gun to turn the lights on and off. Are the light switches damaged?
Nope.
Shit.
Guys, do you think this is the same as happened at my house, where this is not your house, but it's like your house, but another yours house? Like not your parents, but the other parents?
An alternate Johnson house?
I don't know.
JoJo?
JoJo's like looking back, partially over his shoulder. I don't know. Could be. He's going to walk up to the door. I don't know if JoJo would still have the key. Probably not. It's probably something he would have left in the house when he...
Would there be a
locked.
spare? Would there be a spare hidden somewhere outside, maybe?
The door is locked.
Would there be a spare that he knows of a location for?
Yeah, I feel like in this time frame, that's a common thing to do. Yeah, I think if you know where a spare key would have been hidden, let me put it this way. Do you think you would be prone to forgetting your key after school?
Yes.
Then there's a hideaway.
I mean, the other potential is that JoJo would have just climbed through a window.
There, you do know that there is a hideaway under the welcome mat. There's a little hidden key.
He's going to lift the mat then and see if the key is there.
The key is there.
He then pulls that out, puts it into the lock, and turns.
Slides right open, and you enter your house. Or you see your house. Whether you enter is entirely up to you.
He will enter.
Everything about this is familiar to you. You know how anytime you visit a friend's house, their house has a smell? This house smells like the Johnson family. This is, having not been here for so long and been away from that smell, it's a nostalgic, comforting smell as you walk into your house, and whatever candles may have burned in your house, or whatever carpet breeze may have been sprayed in your house smells exactly like it should. All the lights are on. Everything seems like a lived-in house, but you don't see anyone here.
JoJo will stop in the door for a couple seconds, and then he walks straight through to his room.
You walk to your room, and again, much like the rest of the house, your room is exactly as you remember it. However, it is as you remember it before your parents left. So not the way you left it in November, the way they left it.
And what is the time?
You look around
Roughly.
and you see a clock that is working here. In fact, the little clock on the like the microwave would be on as you walk in. You can see the kitchen in the back of the house. There's probably an analog clock on the mantle. You know, families love to have those. And you see that it is the actual time. So at this point, it's probably like 10:30, 10:45-ish.
And his parents worked mostly evenings or nights, from memory. So he wouldn't be expecting them home at this time.
Correct.
From his room, he is going to pick up the baseball bat that he has, or
Okay.
look for it under his bed.
It's there.
He pulls it out, and then he walks with it back out into the living room, and he's basically dragging the bat behind him as he walks through.
Okay. Fish, Danny, Dee Dee, you all see that there is some trepidation in JoJo's steps as he, lingers on the doorstep, opens the door, like finds a hideaway key, opens the door, stands in the doorway for a minute, and then you see him walk into the house and disappear into what I think, Fish, you probably know to be his room. What are the three of you doing while JoJo is gone in his room for a minute?
I think Fish would have waited in the doorway, and then almost like she's waiting for an invitation. And then when JoJo walks into his room, that's when she steps into just the front hall. Like she's not going to venture into the house unless JoJo gives them some kind of signal. And then when he disappears in his room, I think she's looking around, and she might turn to the closet, and she slides open the door or pulls open those doors, the accordion door, just to see if there's shoes or the jackets in there.
There is.
Or jackets are hanging up, so I'm assuming
Jackets are hanging up. Shoes are on the bottom. You see a large bagged vacuum cleaner sort of leaned up against the wall inside the closet. Brooms, dustpans, everything that should be in a hall closet or that would be in a hall closet is in this hall closet. There are, as you take a minute to look around, right? You probably having been here the most, I would say. You see that there are pictures framed on a mantle. There are pictures framed and hung on a wall. There is that hideous wooden armed couch that has the cornucopia of bullshit on it that had every 60s and 70s house had at some point.
Yeah.
That couch is there that you have seen JoJo rotting on at times, given his parents being gone. You see a severe lack of microwaved food stains on it. And you see pillows in each corner that have cross stitch, home sweet home or whatever the classic thing would be. The 80s equivalent to Live, Laugh, Love, right? You have that. So everything about this house looks like an ideal Johnson residence.
There was no car in the driveway?
No car.
Okay. She's gonna, when she has the closet door open, she's gonna look in, she's just gonna put her hands inside the pockets of the adult clothing, the adult jackets.
Just feeling around for
Yeah,
anything?
see if there's anything in there.
You feel around, and there are receipts marked 7-8 months ago. The things that you would normally find in a pocket.
Juicy fruit gum.
Yeah, exactly. You see some Doublemint gum. The statement of the great mint. You do see a key hook, a little thing of key hooks. No keys on them.
Okay, so it's
actually
not
you would see a single keychain on there that bears just the one key being JoJo's house key.
Okay, so it's not the props are not sterile.
Yeah, no, everything looks like it. Everything looks and feels like it should. 8 months ago.
Yeah, I think she'll give a glance to Danny and Dee Dee and just shrug a little bit, and then she's just waiting for JoJo.
Danny would have looked between JoJo and Fish and just taking Fish's lead and being kind of receptive about how JoJo is feeling and being kind of on guard for any creepiness, but most of all just looking after his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Dee Dee, what are you doing?
So I think that did Danny go look after his friend JoJo? Is that what happened? Did Danny follow JoJo?
I'm kind of following Fish
Great.
and JoJo.
Yeah,
so
we're right in the front entrance of the house.
Yes, if when Fish
The
enters,
foyer.
Danny will enter behind her, and when she does something, he will do something. So they're just waiting for JoJo to do something that triggers Fish to do something, then Danny will do something.
Okay, so I think Dee Dee would normally have been running in circles, but she's uncommonly still and uncommonly quiet, and she's just like looking at Danny. And then once everybody starts moving and doing things, she'll go into the house. She'll walk past people. She doesn't have boundaries. Not she'll skate past people. She has no boundaries, and she's gonna turn on the TV.
You absolutely do. As you walk towards the living room
Skate.
to turn off the TV. Skate, sorry. As you skate through the living room to turn on the TV, go ahead and make me an observation roll. Or I'm sorry, an investigate roll.
Successes.
Dee Dee, there's a second that your hand reaches out to twist the on-off knob, where you stand in front of this big wooden TV with the large glass screen, and you have your hand extended out, and silhouetted on the gray, like the gray-black screen, you can see your outline, but in the reflection of this glass, something doesn't exactly look right. Like, you kind of do like an over the shoulder, and you see the couch behind you, and you see a little side table and a little lamp on there, and then you look back, and there seems to be a couch, but no side table, no lamp in the reflection. You notice this right before you tunk to the on switch. TV comes to life, static, the line across the middle, and it eventually fades from both sides. And the last channel this was on would have been the local news.
And what's on the local news? Is it
It is
talking
current.
about
You see Channel 4 News, WPRI Providence, coming in, talking about local events. There is commentary about the devastation, the ongoing devastation in the Ukraine, in the USSR at the time, discussing Chernobyl and what's going on.
So, if you were the news, Dee Dee would have interrupted you halfway through that as soon as she realizes it was recent news, and she flick it back off, and then she'll say, "Fish,
Yeah.
I think the TV's haunted again."
Is it the same TV as, is it Billy D TV?
No.
Yeah, just checking.
Wait, it's haunted again?
Billy
Yeah.
TV was a Magnavox. This is an older TV.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I remember something about it being like a newer version of a TV, or a nicer version. She
But
walks
is it the
over-
same TV? Is it the same TV as the TV when we were at JoJo's house before?
No.
So it's
No.
a different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And I know there was another TV in another episode. I was
Yes.
just-
Yeah.
All right.
She's like, and then she will take her hands out of the pockets and like that, and walk over. What do you mean it's haunted?
And
She'll crouch down.
Dee Dee will point at the reflection. Do you see? Do you see there?
Does she see the reflection?
Yeah. Once pointed out to you, you look in the reflection, and you see that there is a subtle difference. You see that there's a couch in the reflection. Obviously, like, you and Dee Dee now take up most of the reflection, but you see that there's a couch that extends beyond your body, and you see where there should be a side table and lamp, there is not.
Does she see Danny in the reflection?
Where is Danny?
When Dee Dee says, "Is the TV haunted again?" he would react and be remembering Billy TV and moving towards the TV and like where Dee Dee is.
Once Danny comes into frame, yes, you can see him.
Okay, then she will move to the side so Danny can see, and she will point to the reflection. Look.
Huh.
She looks.
That is
Look.
weird.
Dee Dee is looking at Danny to see if he noticed that she was the one who figured that out.
I would say that he does. He doesn't notice that she's looking, but he's definitely aware that she is the one.
And then she will be like, I don't know if she hears the JoJo moving around or not, but she'll just be like, JoJo, are you okay?
JoJo, I think would have taken a little bit longer than I thought he had before. He would have grabbed a clean pair of shoes and got changed. So he would walk out in completely clean clothes, and probably, if they were there, the red Converse that he had bought before.
There are no red Converse in your house.
He would take any good pair of shoes. So he would walk out in a clean pair of jeans, a black T-shirt, and another pair of shoes. More than likely a pair of Converse. And he comes walking out with the bat, and he stops and he's seen what?
JoJo, while going through your room with the bat in your closet, you find your old pair of Chucks. You also find your skateboard.
Huh. He would grab that as well.
You look at your skateboard, and at first, it doesn't register. As you sort of grab it and sort of tuck it under your arm. And I think it's the familiarity of having it under your arm that you sort of feel it before you visually recognize that there's something different about your board. And you notice that there is a distinct lack of uncomfortable scratches on the bottom of your board. And you recall, on Friday, August 2nd, 1985, whether anyone else in the town believes you, you used your skateboard to defend your two friends from an attacking werewolf. And that cut into the bottom of your board, where you used it like a shield, were scratches of a werewolf's claw. They are absent on this board. Only the scuffs of you grinding the porch rails.
When he realizes this, JoJo is going to look in his closet for a backpack, and he is going to put clothes in that bag.
Okay.
As much as
you
he
grab a
can fit.
backpack, whatever makes for your school bag, a little JanSport, and you start throwing clothes off of out of the drawers, off of hangers, into your bag.
I think that's when he's got that now over his shoulder as he walks out to hear fish. And he's got his board, his backpack on. He's two-strapping it with a bat. And he looks at her and goes, "This isn't my house."
So you mean it like it's the other Johnsons kind of situation?
I don't know, Danny, but it seems like it. And he holds up the skateboard for fish. There were scratches in the bottom of this.
Oh my god. It's like before it happened, maybe?
The news is from today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's gonna point out the reflections to JoJo too, so he can see. Do you remember when you guys got that lamp?
In the reflections, Mike, does it look like the house when JoJo last lived in it? In the reflection.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Shit. It's hard to tell in the TV, right? Because it's not like a mirror. It's just reflecting the glass. So really you're only getting shadows on that glass. So all you can really make out from there is that there is a couch, but there does not seem to be a lamp, a side table or a lamp next to the couch.
And he's always remembered having the lamp and the side table?
Mm-hmm.
Even when It was just him. Those were there.
Yeah, yep. I mean, unless you moved it. Yeah.
He's gonna walk over to see if there's a mirror. Well, he'd know where a mirror should have been, and look at the reflection in a mirror.
A mirror. Yeah, you know what? You look in there's a mirror that sort of catches the light off of the porch window, sort of brightening up the room, was the intention here. And it's surrounded by, like family photos, right? You walk up to this mirror, and you look into it, and you see all of your friends sort of looking around the house at you, and you see, as you look around, like kind of moving your body to like change the position of the reflection, you see the couch behind you. You see the side table knocked over. One of the legs is broken. You see a shattered lamp on there. You see that opposite the mirror is the front window. To the if you're looking at it to the left of the door, windows are shattered. You see a house in disarray. You see the house that you remember. You see the house that you left.
He looks back to the others and says, "My house is in the mirror. Well spotted."
Do we see the same thing if we check the mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see it as well. Is that? And like Danny points into the mirror. So that is how it actually looked like, right? You said it like burned down. It was trashed. Sorry, don't mean anything, but yeah.
That was before I set it on fire.
Did he tell it? Would you have told us that you set it on fire?
Even if he doesn't tell you that he set it on fire, the local news reported that the house was burnt in the hurricane. The winter storm.
But he's just admitted that he's the one who set it on fire. So, is that something that he would have told us before, or no?
If he told anyone, it would have been Fish, but I don't think he would have openly told anyone else.
Okay. So I think she looks a little surprised.
Danny definitely looks surprised.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? The
What?
the big hurricane back in October. Yeah. Remember? All the power was out except for in the
Yeah.
component video.
Everything in this town is so weird. Nothing like this happens in Sweden. So,
That you know of.
true, but I lived there a fair bit before I moved here. So, this is definitely weird. Okay, it's not just me. These things are weird for you guys as well, right? This is not a typical American thing that happens here.
No.
Okay.
I
Just checking.
want to run a Swedish loop game right now that's just a normal, like nothing happens. It's just that you guys go to school, you have a lesson, you go home, and that's the end. That's the end of the one shot. Nothing happens.
That'd be fun.
Sweden got their loop figured out.
Sweden is actually mundane. Nothing actually happens.
Just some nice wholesome role play.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, okay. Oh shit. Man, I don't know. Like, look, when it was my house, and the other Sörensons, they didn't have a kid. Like, I didn't exist. And Danny's gonna look through the family photos. Is JoJo in the photos?
JoJo is in an appropriate number of family photos.
But clearly, you're here. You're in, and my house wasn't like different. Like the whole house was the same. It was just that my parents had weird shit in the basement, and it was different. It was different. I think this is something completely other.
I'm gonna go check. Either glance in the kitchen or in the in his parents' room, because sometimes parents, especially in like the 80s, they had like those weird like calendar
There's
thing.
one in the kitchen.
Yeah, like okay, so what date or what month is the calendar flipped to?
The calendar is flipped to October of 1985.
When Fish enters the kitchen, Dee Dee is already there, but she's not paying attention to the calendar. She's in the refrigerator and she's getting out some pudding.
Dee Dee, you open the fridge and you see that there is pudding packs because it's the
Of
80s,
course.
and why wouldn't there be? You also do see that there is neatly stacked and labeled Tupperware, each labeled with like meatloaf, pasta and meatballs, all things that are microwavable, all labeled. All the food seems to be, if you look inside I mean, it's a little bit opaque on the top of the older Tupperware, but the food doesn't seem to be rotting. The fridge doesn't smell bad. The food looks to be fresh.
It ain't fish sticks.
Well, that's in the freezer.
No. So it's taken to
Oh, it says October.
No, none of the food is dated. It just says what
No,
it
but
is.
The
The
October
calendar is a calendar from October 1985. And Fish, you see a couple of things on there. You see October 3rd is circled and it just says late shift on there. You see October 6th is circled in red ink as well. And whatever was there was kind of like rubbed off a little bit. And then you see October 7 through 10 also circled, but nothing is written there.
Sorry, you said the 6th?
3rd, 6th, and then 7 through 10.
And 7th was the hurricane, was it not?
The November.
Eye of the Storm.
Hold on. Eye of the Storm was in September.
Oh, was it?
Mhm.
Oh. So 7 to 10 is the
Who Goes There was on
Then
was on October 6th.
Who Goes There?
And Virtually There was the 11th.
Oh, the
The
11th.
disappearance of Billy.
There's so many weird things going on in this town, so it's hard to keep track now.
Yeah, who goes there again?
Who Goes There was Fish, Danny, Rossi, and Elliot. I think that was Danny's weird house.
Yeah, it was either the weird house or was it the weird house? Not my weird house, but the other weird house with the camera and the punching of said equipment. Or was
Let's
that a
see.
different date?
Who Goes There?
That one happens after the hurricane, like the day after, like the
Who
Monday.
Goes There was when you all went invisible.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
When Danny punched the weird camera, I thought it was there. I think the Sørensen thing was something else.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
we
hap-
went invisible. And
That doesn't.
stuff.
That's
Sunday,
not-
October 6th was the day you all went invisible. And Friday, October 11th was the day that Billy Duncan went missing.
Yeah.
But the hurricane was it September 7th or something, or the
September 27th.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's better because okay.
That
So
was,
it's only a week
Hurricane
later.
Hurricane Gloria.
Yeah. Because at the beginning of Who Goes There, we were cleaning up the hurricane damage.
Yep.
Okay.
The winter storm that like burned down JoJo's house was November 2nd.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
So, do you think? And Danny looks over to JoJo. You think this is some kind of time travel thing? Like the house has traveled back in time?
But if I don't know.
I don't know
You
either.
guys are the smart ones.
But if it's back to October, she points to the thing, then how come his Converse shoes aren't here and the damage from the skateboard's not there?
I don't know. I mean, sorry to bring it up again, but when it was my house, I didn't exist. So maybe this is like back in time, also alternate dimension where JoJo exists but doesn't have Converse and didn't fight with his skateboard.
That makes
I
sense.
don't know. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
understand anymore.
That makes
Like I
me-
said, my parents do smart shit. I don't, and I don't know what my parents do.
Well, you're smart, Danny.
Okay, thanks. I guess.
That makes Fish think of something, but she doesn't say it out loud.
You're fast too.
Not as fast as you, though, kid.
My name's
Dee
Dee
Dee.
Dee.
Oh, sorry, Didi. I don't know why I started calling you kid, but I will do better. I'll call it Dee Dee. Dee Dee, yeah. Anyhow, do you, the other thing I can think of is that my parents watched the news because there was some big event over in the USSR earlier. Uh, some power plant exploded, and that's a big thing in Sweden because we're really close by.
My dad thinks it's a huge conspiracy from Russia.
I don't know. My parents were just worried because radioactivity and such things might be dropping down on our relatives in Sweden. Like my granny's there.
Do you think that has something to do with what's happening here?
I mean, a power plant explodes in the USSR and everything goes black here. I don't know. I'm just grasping as everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Can I
I mean,
roll like an investigation, Mike, just to see? Because like one of the things you can ask questions with investigation, right?
Yeah, what would you like to know?
Like what's missing here? Like that's one of the questions you can ask, or what's
Interesting.
hidden here.
Go ahead and roll me an investigate.
4 successes. Holy shit!
That's awesome.
you see through space and time.
You get all the answers.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Appropriate to whatever you want. Jesus.
Okay.
Because something is not computing with fish. Like I'll just tell you what she's thinking. She's not going to say it out loud.
Yeah. Go for it.
If the house, because we were kind of thinking the house went before JoJo like really met Fish and like was and the whole carnival thing happened. That's why he doesn't have the Converse and he doesn't have the damage. But if this house is in October right now, technically he should have, unless he hadn't met Fish.
That tracks. Everything you're saying with everything you've seen, that does seem correct.
Yeah.
However, as you're still in the kitchen area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You are musing over these thoughts, looking at the calendar. You see Dee Dee has pulled open the fridge, is looking at that. You see that it's full of what seems to be fresh food, or fresh leftovers. As you are having a conversation with Danny and JoJo, sort of. I don't know, exists in some sort of fugue state here in his house, which is completely reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You hear your name. You hear a snippet of conversation. Something came before it, but you're fairly certain you heard Fisher. And you think you heard it from a door in the hallway.
And we're all in the room, more or less.
You're in the kitchen, so I imagine the house sort of opens up. There is a parlor, like a den on one side. There is a dining room on the other side. There's stairs that go up to JoJo's room, and in the back of the house is this sort of the kitchen, right? So in a hallway that runs down, that's kind of where there's like family photos and shit. There's a door in that hallway, and you think you heard your name, or at least Fisher, from that door. No one else reacts to this. Only you seem to hear it.
I think she turns around from looking at the calendar and like looks past everybody and then like frowns because she heard something, and she will step towards the hallway and like look down.
Fish, you turn around and you look past everybody with that frown on, as if maybe one of your friends called you Fisher instead of Fish as a sort of a goof. Strange time to goof in this moment, but you look down past everybody and you catch the reflection of one of the windows in the front of the house. And at this angle, you see that there is a man, about 6'4", semi-athletic build, in a black suit, standing behind you.
Behind me? In the reflection.
That's correct.
She spins around and looks.
You see Dee Dee in the kitchen.
She looks back.
Several pudding packs down. You look back, and there is a man standing behind you in the reflection.
She's gesturing wildly. She's not saying anything, but she's gesturing wildly for them to come.
Does anyone move to fish?
How many do you see her?
And she's
Are we all-
pointing. She's not saying anything, but she's pointing because she doesn't want to like spook it or jinx it or something like that.
Yeah, Dee Dee has a spoon in her mouth and she walks over and looks in the reflection.
You know, mad respect for using a spoon and not just just a full finger in there.
She's civilized when it comes to pudding, okay?
No
the
child
restraints.
was civilized with a pudding pack, okay?
All the restraints. If Danny sees her gesturing, of course he will go over there. I was just thinking if he was in a different room or something, because we were like in the mirror den kind of area, I thought. But
The
if I
hallway
can
sort
see
of
them,
connects
then-
the rooms, right? So there's like archways through the house.
Right,
And you
It is-
all can maneuver to a position where you see fish, and you look at what she's pointing at, and she is wildly gesticulating towards the window. And as you look at the window, you see dark outside. You can see your reflections in the window, and nothing that would cause you to flail wildly.
What?
Is she gesticulating at the window or the
I was
mirror?
gesticulating for you guys to come to me, and then
Okay.
I saw the reflection in the window, so she's pointing at the window.
Got it.
She's like,
And we don't see anything there.
Nothing that would
is
alarm
weird. Nothing there, fish.
do I still see him?
You do.
Is he looking at me?
He's just looking in the same direction as you. Like he's also looking at the window, it seems.
Okay. As long if you said he was looking at me, I might throw up. That's so good. That's so scary. uh,
Yeah, I agree with Dee Dee. I don't see anything, fish.
There's a guy there's a guy standing behind us. He's looking in out the window.
What's he doing?
Where?
He's just looking.
He's wearing a suit, and she describes what he looks like. It's not Mr. LaBelle, is it?
It is not.
Okay, good.
That sounds
Above
kind of
table,
creepy.
is it Mr. Black?
Fish is not Mr. Black. Fish, you watch in shock and awe and horror as your friends do not see what you see.
Fuck. But she
And you
describes him, so
You,
I wouldn't
you
know.
describe him. So as you are continuing to watch, you describe him to your friends and whatever he is doing. And because you rolled 4 successes, which is an astronomical roll, albeit we did have a 5 earlier, you look and you see something that, much like JoJo's response to his skateboard, it takes a second for you to register what you've seen. Because of course you would see that. But then it dawns on you that there's no way that you could actually see it as you watch your reflection blink.
Oh no.
The man behind you leans in, places a hand on your reflection's shoulder, and the two of you turn and walk through the door in the hallway, leaving no reflection of you in the window.
What the fuck? Oh shit.
We want to investigate JoJo's house and other weird shit. Okay.
Oh shit.
Does everyone else still see Fish's reflection?
No.
So we all watch Fish's reflection walk out the door?
There's a second where you're all listening to Fish explain what she's seeing, and then you realize that you see a reflection of Danny, JoJo, and Dee Dee in the window.
What is happening?
Dude, your reflection.
It's gone.
Did they steal your
said
reflection?
he said something to me. Me? And then we left. She's gonna step towards the window.
You do?
So when she described him, I want to know if that description matches Mr. Johnson.
It does not.
Danny's
Which
gonna
door
run in. Danny's gonna run into the other room, grab the mirror if you can pull it from the wall, and put it in the direction like if they exit it out into the hallway, he's gonna put a mirror there and like, Fish, come, look, see if you can see where they're walking, if we can follow them. You know, like tracking
Yeah.
through reflections.
Love it.
So if they turn the
Looks good.
corner, put the
Yeah.
mirror there so she can take out another, see if she can see a reflection in the mirror.
Fish, you saw them open the door in the hallway and disappear.
She will turn and look to the door, and she will reach out and grab the handle, and then look to JoJo for like confirmation if this is okay.
Go.
Okay, she will open it.
You open the door and you are hit with the musty smell of a basement, of an unfinished basement. A single light bulb hangs in the stairwell.
And she will motion to Danny with the mirror.
Dan is gonna try to be in place so she can look into the mirror and see down the basement.
This is the only light bulb you have found in the house that is not on.
Oh, she will. Is there a switch?
It's a pull
Or-
chain.
Pull chain? Oh, gross. Okay, so I have to walk right up to it. And
It's just on the
stares
stairs.
down?
It's just on like on the down step of the stairs. It's on the
okay.
ceiling of the stairs. So you got to walk 2 steps into the basement, grab the chain, or you can do that thing that scared teenagers do, where you hang onto the exterior door jamb and just sort of lean in and pull it, and then quickly pull yourself back before you fall down and break a
2
shoulder.
steps is all it takes, Mike.
Yeah.
So she will step in and she will reach up and ting ting pull it.
It tick, 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 flickers to light. You can hear the hum of the coil warming up as it casts a dim 40-watt light into this stairs. You see the light sort of spill into the basement.
She will look in the mirror.
You look in the mirror and you see a reflection of yourself standing in the doorway, looking down into a basement.
What's
Hello?
happening?
I'll go.
She will hold her. I don't know if Dee Dee's a hand holder or not, but she will offer her hand to like go down with her.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Dee Dee's gonna grab like the rail too because she's still on roller skates.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's perfectly safe.
Fine.
We
Fine.
Yeah.
we cut to a horrible angle
Oh no.
where we
Down
see
angle?
where we see the camera repositioned to the back of the stairs, as the unfinished stairs of the basement don't have that back panel on them.
Ew.
As we see a foot step and a roller skate step, and the camera sort of adjusts as you continue down, and all we see is the backs of sneakers and the backs of roller skates as you descend into an increasingly dark basement. The 2 of you hit the bottom floor. Cement basement. You see a large, oval, multicolor woven carpet there. You see a washer and dryer in an ugly olive green, both, of course, top-load. You see a shelf with an array of Tide and, Bounty. You see all the things you would expect to see in a basement, an unfinished basement, with wooden scrap shelves with canned and or jarred goods, a storage of toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, and the like. You see in the dark, shadowy corner furthest away from the stairs, you do see a pile looking like a half-sunken teepee of fishing poles, just sort of haphazardly leaned against the wall. And you see what makes for a very average basement. The kind of thing you would expect to see in a house like this. A second light, unlit, stands in the center of the room, hanging from the ceiling with a pull chain.
She will have Danny position the mirror so she can look.
Oh, he will definitely follow down if she wants him to come down and try.
No, she wants Danny and JoJo to come down.
JoJo's
Yeah,
followed.
helpful.
JoJo's got his
Yeah.
skateboard and a bat.
Okay. Yeah.
You, the boys come down second. Chivalry is dead. You see they descend. Danny, you have the mirror positioned. Fish, you look over your shoulder, staring back into this mirror, trying to find any subtle difference, like it's a highlights magazine, trying to find what's different between these two pictures. And you see that there is nothing different that you can make out, although there seems to be something like, but not exactly, fading wallpaper on this unfinished basement in the mirror. It seems to be gray and drab and sort of, it looks like maybe peeling paint but it seems to have like a folding, falling texture, like you would imagine an old house with wallpaper would have. What you are standing in is, however, a stone foundation basement.
It's cold. She will move over. I do want to ask something. I didn't specify this because I didn't really give a description of what Fish looked like today. But one thing that she is not wearing and hasn't been wearing the last 3 weeks is her mom's denim shirt. So I just want to ask, was the reflection wearing the shirt or not?
It was wearing the shirt.
Okay. Shit. Okay. And she will go and pull the chain.
You walk up to the light bulb and you reach up to the chain, and everyone watches as Fish stops. Fish, you look up at the light, you grab the chain, and you watch as your reflection, and not you, goes in the light bulb.
So wait, so
In the light bulb?
oh, my reflection in the light bulb. And sorry, you said I freeze and then I'm not moving?
Like you reach up and you go to grab this, and you notice your reflection cock its head. I assume you would stop. You don't freeze like a something hasn't affected you. I just imagine you go as you watch it happen.
Yeah, she just she holds the thing and she's like just looking up at the thing.
Fish, you okay?
I don't think so. And she will pull the chain and turn it on.
Click, click, click. And release. The light buzz, and light flickers on to existence. And you see JoJo's basement. JoJo, not a place you would frequent. It's a place of chores, a place of chemicals, a place of things, all the things you didn't want to do. And as with every house in New England that has a basement, for a young child, it is a bit of a place of fear. It is dark, it is creepy, it smells funny. Most kids don't want to go in here till a certain age. But at that age, it was all about chores. So it is a little hazy, but it is as you remember it to be. You remember the carpet, you remember the olive washer and dryer, you remember all of the chemicals here, your dad's fishing poles, you see a tackle box, you see old boxes of toys that were no longer fit for you to be played with or that you had sort of aged out of here. You see boxes of Christmas lights and the things you would normally store in a basement. Everything about this place looks normal to you, JoJo.
I've been here before. Do we want to just burn it?
Well,
I don't know. Fish said she wasn't okay. But what is happening? Like, are we in danger? And he started, like, he's holding the mirror but start to look around.
Are you looking at the mirror, or are you holding it so that Fish can see the mirror?
I'm holding it so Fish can see the mirror, but I imagine that he's trying to peer over the mirror because he's, like, super curious, since he can't really see what Fish is seeing.
if he wants to hold the mirror so he can see, then
Roll me an investigation. Or investigate, rather.
Oh, yeah, the super skill, because I'm so smart. Yeah.
Listen, I didn't make your characters. I didn't make your characters for the mystery game, guys. Don't get mad at me. You're bad at
I'm always mad at you. We made a space western and then you shot at us.
I know. The audacity of me.
Why did you push?
You guys can re-roll. You can spend luck.
Oh, yeah, I'm young. I have luck. I always forget that.
You can use
Yeah, let's
your
do it.
iconic item, you know.
My iconic item is my karate belt. I don't really see how that would help me at all in here, but I'm gonna use a luck
Okay.
because what is luck for not burning, and I'm gonna do a reroll. That is still
Perfect.
0 successes.
Exactly the number we all expected you to get. You look around and you see the same thing that whether Fish explained it or not. You see like a strange, like the walls seem weird. Like the walls here are cement in the house that you can see with your eyes. In the mirror, they seem to be similarly gray, but they seem to be like peeling and cracking in an almost like paper-esque quality.
Didi would like to look.
Go ahead and roll me an investigate.
Please be smarter, Didi.
Nope.
Can I roll?
Sure.
Okay. She's like, Danny, bring the mirror closer to the wall.
Okay, and he moves it.
Oh no.
The dice do want you to burn the house down, I think. I think the dice side with JoJo on this one. The dice are like fucking nuke it from orbit.
All right.
I'm
go away,
gonna
be
I'm gonna push. I'm gonna
Go
push.
for it. Go for it.
Come on. 160.
There we go.
Yay!
But while Fish is like looking around, Didi pulls some matches out of her backpack.
Okay. Or you have Humdinger's lighter.
Yeah.
You get close to the wall. You have Danny kind of move closer to the wall. And as you look on this thing, it's not wallpaper. It's not paint. It seems to be, you don't know what else to call it, but aluminum foil. The walls are lined with some sort of like tin foil. I didn't hear what you just said.
Conspiracies, like some kind of like tinfoil hat type shit. Oh man.
Has Danny moved the mirror around so that we can see the whole room? Like
He would have. He would have been trying to like, show Fish everything that Fish wanted to see. When she said she was not okay, he would like, move the mirror as he was looking around as well.
Okay. In that case, with your one success, I will say you notice a couple things, Fish. One, it appears to be tinfoil, or for those of you across the pond, aluminium foil.
Thank you.
And
Tinfoil.
it's aluminum foil. And you also see that there are no shelves. There are no fishing poles. All of the mundanities of JoJo's basement are missing.
When
there's
I'm
nothing else in the space. It's just tinfoil
It
walls.
seems to be tinfoil walls and nothing else in this space.
Any
All of the washer and dryer are missing.
Any footprints on the ground or anything like?
It's hard to tell. You look down at the ground, and the ground seems to be covered in tinfoil as well.
Okay,
but there's a rug. There's a rug that's been put down on the floor in this side, right?
Correct.
Didi's gonna roll back the rug.
You roll back the rug, and you see that it was hiding a small metal hatch.
I don't
Hey,
remember that being here.
wow, there you go. Nice find, Didi.
Like a submarine hatch? Like what kind of hatch? Like a hatch that we saw at the Radio Shack?
Like a hook you lift it up, and there are stairs underneath hatch, is what it looks like
Okay,
to you.
so nothing like locked? Like,
Correct.
excuse me.
That never
Well,
been
look-
there, like at all.
You've never been there before? We were there before when we were in the Radio Shack. We went into the back room, and then in the back room there was a hatch like this, and we went through there, and we went into a tunnel, and we came out, and we were in the forest.
And then
Oh,
that's
what-
when Billy disappeared off the TV.
I
Useless.
was I in the forest? I don't think I was in the forest. I was only in the room. That was horrible. Let's not talk about that.
I don't think you
So-
were here, Danny.
No, it was definitely there when Billy. Anyhow, yes, no, so Jojo, this was never in your house before. You've never seen this.
While they were talking, JoJo has opened the hatch. He says, "Nope."
Jojo,
Hmm.
the hatch goes down. There's no stairs. The hatch goes down. The door itself is probably like maybe 4 feet by 3 feet. So like kind of like a crawl space door almost. You pop this thing open, and similar to nicer cars, there is a suspension piston that engages and the door stays open. Right, kind of like the like what's on the roof of the mill. You see that there is this square goes down probably about 4 feet. And stops. There's a solid floor. But you see that on the walls, on 2 of them, there are control panels. There are lights flashing. There are diodes. There are dials. And you see on the one of the short walls, there is a hanging clipboard.
JoJo jumps in.
Okay. You hop in.
Thinking
You are crouched down.
that's safe enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drops down, and he's gonna take the clipboard and have a look at it.
The clipboard has a very like scientific document sort of theme to it, and at the top it says displacement test phase 4, and then listed are 2 subjects, Margaret Johnson and Daryl Johnson. I looked through your stuff. You don't have names for your parents, so those are stand-ins for now.
Sorry, Margaret and Daryl?
Margaret and Daryl.
Mommy and Daddy Johnson.
Mommy and Daddy Johnson. And you see status, unrecovered, echo stable. And you feel that there is something very slim and rectangular underneath this piece of paper. You can kind of feel it.
He barely read much of that. He flicks over the paper to look behind.
Clipped by a very small corner is a picture, a Polaroid picture of you and your family.
He takes the picture and slides it into his back pocket, and he hands the clipboard up to the others and says, "This is all brain stuff."
As you hand that over, one of you will take this, I assume. JoJo, roll me and investigate, and I'm going to give you. Here's what I'll say. What emotional state is JoJo in?
Not a positive one.
On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, a little freaked out, 5 being emotionally distraught, where do you think you are?
Let's go with a 4.
Roll me an investigation with a bonus of 4.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
JoJo is ready to burn the house down, Mike. 1 success.
Yeah.
JoJo, this is a picture of you and your family as you grab this thing and you slide it. There's almost like a slow motion that happens as you slide this. You recognize this photo. This photo is from 2 years ago, maybe. You think you were like 10 or 11. You remember this day. This was a day that your family went out for like a entire day-long event. Both of your parents had not started working at the Loop yet, and you had gone to like the zoo carnival kind of situation. Behind you is a carousel, not carnival, is a large carousel. You can see the wooden horses, dragons, etc., moving up and down. And you note this as a memory that you remember. You note something in the corners of the actual picture itself. There seem to be dark spots, the kind that you get when like the picture isn't properly developed or exposed to too much what like a chemical happens. Polaroid cameras, they can have a little bit of burn in, they can have a little bit of weird. You see that there are 4 symbols, and you would have attributed it to some kind of burn in, except they seem to be symmetrically located in each of the 4 corners, and that sticks out to you. As you look closely at it, in the top left, you see a spiral coiling inward, forming an eye. On the top right, you see a vertical line with 2 small jagged arcs on either side, like an open mouth. On the bottom left, you see a tear-shaped symbol above 3 concentric semicircles, almost like a droplet of water rippling. And then on the bottom right, you see an hourglass shape that is broken on the diagonal. You see, it looks like two triangles, and they seem to be like disjointed a little bit.
None of those symbols he's ever seen before.
You have not.
He looks at the picture then before he pockets it. So he's handed up the clipboard. He holds for a few beats and stares at the picture. Assuming someone's taken the clipboard, he then swaps hands with the picture. And then hesitates, but eventually hands it up and says, I don't understand what's in the picture.
JoJo, as you take this moment to ponder the picture, you are drawn to the fractured hourglass on the bottom right. And as you look at this thing and sort of stare at it, there is something in the back of your mind that you know you've never seen this before. It's simple. It's 2 triangles sort of offset, almost like the Microsoft Word like ruler symbol, right? But you're drawn to this in a way that like you know this symbol in the back of your mind. You sort of like there's something about this, and in your head, whether you say this out loud is entirely up to you. You hear, I am the space between dreaming, binding the threads of nightmares and reality. And as that echoes around in your brain, you know that this symbol is associated with those words, and you know that those are the words you spoke at the bowling alley lock-in.
He stops, half handing up the picture, and then brings it back and looks at it. And he repeats the words. We've said these before. And he puts his thumb onto that particular symbol as he's holding it up and says, I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I think this is connected to that from the bowling alley.
You've all heard the story of the bowling alley. None of you were there for it. Except for JoJo. Fish and Danny, you know that there is a correlation between what happened at the bowling alley and what happened to you at the observation tower, the observatory. You were told by Elliot, who was at both locations.
That is very creepy. Maybe we should burn it down.
Does anyone take the picture from JoJo?
Yeah. If he's offering it, she will take it to look at it.
Imagine Dan is putting down the mirror and moving to hold the latch. JoJo can't be, they can't close again on JoJo. So it's like just holding it for safety.
I think it's already held up, right?
Yeah, it's held up by like a piston.
It is held up, but
Mike, is
Danny
this
doesn't
like a
trust
pit?
it.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
got
like a
it.
pit. It's like a 3
So
foot
it's
by
like a
4 foot pit, 4 foot deep.
Got it. Dee Dee's gonna lay down on the ground and I don't know how to explain it. She's gonna her lower body's gonna remain on the floor. Her upper body's gonna be upside down, inverted into the pit. And she is going to look at all of this equipment, this electrical equipment. and try to figure out what this is, and try to see if there are any outputs. Like yeah. First of all, what might this be?
Go
Can
ahead
we
and roll
tinker?
me. Go ahead and roll me a tinker, please.
As Dee Dee leans in and JoJo's passed the things up and he sees her and he goes, "You were there for all the other weird stuff. Does this look familiar to you?"
Well, who is it? No, I don't know those people.
No,
I mean, that's
he's
you.
pointing at all the machines, all the buttons. And...
Oh, the machines. So,
Yeah.
yes. Do the machines look anything like other machines we've seen?
They do look like other machines that you have seen, however, not exactly in the way that you're hoping, right? There was a commonality between what you saw in the basement, in the underground, the sub-basement, and what you saw, because I believe you were there as well, what you saw with Fish and the portal thing. There was a commonality between that. This looks like similar technology, in that it is appropriately high-tech for the 80s. So your best guess is either maybe along the same lines of these scientists. Perhaps it's the loop. Perhaps it's some other level of technology. This does not seem to be. There are no like circular coils that you're used to seeing. This seems to be like monitoring hardware. Like you see a space that has like a metal bar that like a receipt kind of thing would come out of, as if it's like tracking, almost like a polygraph kind of thing. This seems to be like collecting data or monitoring a space.
It's really advanced like all the other stuff, but I think it's been recording you, JoJo. Can we see if we can like get data out of it in any way?
Yeah, go ahead and attempt a program check here.
Okay, I'm gonna program. I might have to use some luck, but we're gonna try that. Oh, good, 2 successes.
Hell yeah, 2 successes.
Oh yeah.
Dee Dee being the absolute genius this episode.
You begin to spin some of the dials, and after a few seconds, it feels like there's a safe cracking slash radio tuning slash VCR tracking level to this, where like it's more about feeling it than actually getting it right. And you lean down and you begin to like twist some of these knobs and these dials here, and you can hear. Whatever is behind the walls, essentially, whatever is in here, the mechanisms, begin to hum and whir and buzz differently than they were previously. So whatever you're doing is doing something. So you start to like fine tune stuff here. Who's outside?
Me and Daddy.
Danny's holding the lid, even though it's standing up by itself. He's holding it because he doesn't trust it. So that's
Okay.
what you're doing. The mirror is just leaned against the wall somewhere.
Where are the two of you looking?
I think
down
she's
the hole.
yeah, and I think she's on her knees, like at the edge, and she may have passed up. She may have looked at the clipboard, then passed it to Danny or Dee Dee, and now she's looking at the picture or something like that. But she's like looking facing down into the hole, but she's got the picture in her hand.
Yeah.
Fish,
Danny's
roll me-
standing behind the door, or like the latch or the hatch, whatever, and is looking down on top of it down.
JoJo, where are you looking?
JoJo's watching what Dee Dee's doing. So
Okay.
he's down in the hole, keeping an eye on that.
Okay.
With her.
Fish, roll me and investigate. Danny, roll me and investigate.
1 for me.
Can't more than fail. Let's go.
Come on.
Nope.
Just real quick, G, did you push or did you spend a luck?
I pushed last time.
Would you like to have spent a luck instead?
Sure, I guess.
So you don't have to get the negative?
Okay.
Luck
Yeah.
will, because you're rolling with a negative, so luck will give you no negative if you want that.
Okay. So then you want me to roll another dice, or?
Yeah, if you want, you can just roll me a d6 to see if you succeeded it one more time. One's enough, but I noticed that you didn't need to have that if you didn't want to. Outstanding. You look at this this picture, the clipboard. You kind of look around, and you're aware of what's happening in the hole as Dee Dee is twisting the knobs. And there is motion that catches your eye that causes you to look up from whatever you're looking at. And as if adjusting the tracking on a decrepit VHS tape, you can see, similar to Danny's basement, you can see slight warbles in the air, and you can see shadows move, and then as Dee Dee adjusts, you see those go away and different ones move. And as she adjusts, you see different ones move, as if Dee Dee is changing the channel on the world.
Dee Dee, whatever you're doing, something's happening up here. It's like you're changing the channel of the world.
Yeah, I'm trying to dial in here. I need to get it just right. Just a little bit more of a twist.
Can you adjust the tracking? It's all fuzzy.
Yeah, I can. I think I can. Can I? Can I?
You're going to continue. You have succeeded with your 2 successes. I will tell you what that means once we get there. Although, Dee Dee, you in the hole, JoJo, you in the hole, and Danny, you looking down into the hole, you see that there is a like a vent, like a moisture vent, so like this doesn't get like decrepit and moldy under here. The 3 of you, being in the hole, more or less, hear a low whisper, very tinny, as if sort of coming through ventilation. You hear, "They are not only lost, they are only removed. You brought us here. We have given you this echo." JoJo, you have a chill run up your spine. And you know that that was meant for you. Fish, you see the room shift again. You see a number of shadows with no features. And you see 2 people that resemble the adults in all of the pictures in the first floor of the house. You see JoJo's parents.
Dee Dee, hold it here.
It stops. There is a limited definition. And you see the 2 people take a step forward towards the hole. And you see the shadows behind them step forward with them.
Do they see us?
They seem to be moving in your direction. They haven't reached out or said anything to you, but they seem to be moving closer, one step at a time.
Dee Dee, try and clear this image up. Don't stay on this channel. And she's gonna go and try and help them.
In the hole, or help the
no, help the people, help the Johnsons.
JoJo, you see that Fish is moving and doing something. Dee Dee, your success remains as you begin to toggle a different dial, and the image begins to sharpen. You see more definition of the Johnsons, no more definition of whatever the dark shadow shapes are behind them. JoJo, you see Fish moving. Danny, you see Fish moving. What are the 2 of you doing as Fish leaves her post and starts moving around your basement?
Do they see the images that I'm seeing?
If they look up in the direction you're moving to, they do.
Okay.
Anyone who looks towards where you're going sees those.
I imagine since Fish started to tell Dee Dee to try to sharpen the image, Danny's going to try to sort of look and give feedback to Dee Dee as she turns the dial, so she knows which way is correct. Try to help her, like, no.
Okay, so you're helping Dee Dee?
No, it's better.
Like hot and cold type stuff?
Yeah,
okay.
how they call, like, yeah, more better, worse, better, worse. No, turn that back.
So JoJo, you see this image, this like almost projection playing out in your basement. And as you look up, you see your parents.
JoJo hasn't looked up. He's looking at the vent where he heard the whisper.
Okay.
And he's going to put his ear to it, and he whispers back, but who are you?
Mm.
Roll me a. You know what? Let me see here. Let me open your. I'm gonna take. I feel like even in your emotional state, asking the ominous voice is less charisma and more heart. Roll me a lead.
Ooh.
I can give you a lead.
Come on.
1 success.
Yeah.
You hear. We are the chorus. You opened the way. That's all you hear.
Why are you here? What do you want with us?
To offer a chance.
For what?
Completeness.
JoJo chuckles to himself. My life's a shit show.
You hear the last tinny, and it fades as is said. Go, stay, walk away, and it fades.
He hits the vent out of a little bit of frustration. And I think that's when he looks back to Dee Dee, who's hanging around and twisting knobs, and looks up to the others. And in his turn, he's starting to say, "Did you hear that?" And then he sees his parents. And he will jump to the lip and pull himself up.
As you pull yourself up, roll me a comprehend with that same traumatic +4.
A comprehend.
Come on, come on.
1 success.
You have been given a chance as you see what the rest of your friends have seen, as you understand what Dee Dee is doing, as you understand what was just told to you. You can either go with your parents, stay and take them here, or walk away and leave them wherever they are. But given everything you've seen in Glenbrook for the past year, you know that nothing is without consequence.
That's a shit choice, Mike.
Guys, you keep
Yes.
asking to play in Glenbrook. What do you?
You can just see how much he's enjoying this.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Chris that always takes a GM intrusion? Where's?
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
but he
figure out
doesn't
how
know which
bad to
one's the
make this, Mike.
intrusion here. 3G
Feels good, doesn't it,
intrusion,
Mike?
One.
Be able to torment your players.
It's
See,
great.
this
It's my
is what you
favorite.
do
It's
it.
my favorite.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm a Cthulhu keeper. This is amazing.
I
Remember,
don't
you
think
guys
JoJo
asked for
wants to
this.
go. But he's tempted to walk away. Oh shit, I don't know. Go for G.
I'm just saying, her Fish's intention is to go and help them, but I'm not taking away anything from what JoJo's deciding. But he sees her moving forward
I think that would
with like an arm out, like
prompt him to. Yeah, I think that would prompt him to action. Because I think I was leaning towards helping them as well, and that would be JoJo, like that feeling like that is the right choice. That is the choice that a normal kid would make. So he would shakily step forward and try to help them forward.
Okay. Dee Dee, you continue to manipulate these knobs under the guidance of Danny, under the guidance of JoJo and Fish, as the image begins to sharpen. You begin to see this sort of almost like looking through almost like looking through water. There's a warble, and there's like a sort of like almost a transparent film layer, right? Like looking through like a camera gel, as you can see that same feeling, Fish, that you felt when walking into Danny's basement, that sort of like moving through a semi-solid mass. You see that representation around you in a vaguely circular shape, almost like this strange portal you saw previously, just a few weeks prior. The center of that warble, the center of that mostly circle, is the sharpest version of that image, and you can see a clear picture of JoJo's parents, as well as the dark shadow, vaguely humanoid figures behind you, behind them. The image begins to sharpen. You see them continue to take a step forward. What are the two of you doing?
JoJo looks to Fish and goes, "What's that behind them? Does that come with?"
Does it look like the shadows we saw on that one day going to the Radio Shack?
It does not. It does not. Those looked like shadow. Those looked like people. Like you could see like distinct like people features, although it was just an outline with glowing yellow eyes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Are these vibing menacingly? Like, are they stalking?
They're all like there's a bunch of these things, like kind of like almost like a crowd, and as the parents step forward, they step forward. The parents don't seem to be in fear, or maybe not even notice what it looks like, or what it is rather, and so it's hard to, there's not like a stalking, they're not doing anything to be malevolent.
Okay. Like every time they step forward, they're like, oh, like trying to snatch them or something. And she'll be like, I don't know, but we need to help them.
But is that them?
You tell me. I don't think
It
Fish has
looks like
ever
that,
met
man.
his parents.
And he looks back to Danny. You've seen other versions of your family. Is this just another version of mine
I don't know.
and not actually mine?
Mine
What
looked
a-
the same, just that I wasn't there. I don't know if these are yours or if there's copies.
Are they seeing us?
They don't seem to be reacting to you.
Can we tell what they would be moving towards?
They seem to be moving. They seem to be moving.
So they're not looking at JoJo, like they haven't like seen him. And they're coming
Correct. Yeah.
towards him.
Yeah. They seem to be walking towards like I don't know, an object or a door.
Or could they be moving towards the fluctuation in the time-space continuum that we're looking through?
Yes, that's exactly what they're moving towards.
Perfect. Okay. What about this test? This displacement, phase 4? And then they have their names. Maybe that's why they haven't been around, because they were part of an experiment. Is this handwritten?
Yeah.
Is it? Because she spent.
It's not. It's not
It's not-
Daryl or Kimberly.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Jojo, I think you just have to make a decision and believe. Simple as that.
But what if I take parents away from another version of me?
What if these
I've
are
already
your
lost mine.
parents?
I've come to live with it.
What if these are your
Sucked.
parents and you can save them? Or
Did we didn't hear the whispering, I'm assuming?
Only
Okay.
JoJo.
No, we heard the first part of the whispering.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah, Dee and Danny heard the first part of the whispering, but not after JoJo started asking it questions.
Have we heard the term echoes before? I'm trying to think.
I don't think so.
I feel like that those terms have been thrown around. I'm just getting confused about what campaign these are these are getting thrown away. They're thrown around in.
You've heard like there's been an episode title called Frozen Echoes. That was about the weird like time loop
Yeah,
in the winter time.
like nothing about like maybe something in like the last episode with the portal. Like just
No, those were not referred to as echoes. I don't remember
Okay.
if you heard what they were referred to, but they are referred to as hollows.
hollows. Okay, yes. Um,
Jojo then just says, "Well, fuck it, take the gift that's offered," and he's gonna try and reach out to where the ghosty parents are and see if he can grab a hand to pull them through.
You take a step forward, you reach out your hand at this reflective warble, and you see, in slightly greater definition, one of the shadows points in your general direction, and you see your parents sort of look with more clarity, and you see that they see you. Both your mother and father reach out their hands towards the portal, essentially, and reach towards you as you reach in towards them, and you feel their hands touch your hands. Do you pull?
He pulls.
You pull, and as if pulling through some sort of like solid foundation, you begin to pull your mother and father through this. And as they are probably 75% of the way through JoJo, Fish, how close are you to JoJo?
right next to him. Like if he seems to struggle, she will help him. If that's okay with Chris.
The two of you see, in thus far the greatest definition you have seen, a very tall, spindly figure behind the parents. Roughly humanoid, shaped, seems to be built of shimmering layers, like overlapping transparent sheets of people in different positions, ages, looks, styles. They seem to flicker and shift with this thing's every movement. It is semi-transparent, as if made of smoke or static or sadness. And there are flashes of recognizable faces as you watch this creature move forward. Its form shifts and changes and drips almost like wax. And as you pull your parents out of the portal, this figure disappears. And JoJo, you hear as if walking by you, you left the door open, JoJo. You called to us, and we will call to you. And Dee Dee, the panel sparks. The lights blink, and you smell burning plastic in here as the circuitry has fried. The rest of you, not looking inside, watch as the stabilization of this and falls.
Did they come out?
As it falls, JoJo and Fish, you notice that there is one less shadow. In the portal, there's one less shadow.
But did the parents come through?
They did. You pulled them
Okay.
through. Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna immediately try to pull Didi out of there if they started to like catch fire.
Yeah, Dee Dee says, "Oops! Oh, I'm sorry. I love. Oh, let me.
Come,
Oh no!
get
it's-
out! Get out! Get out!
Jojo, your parents stumble forward as if tripping out of something, and sort of half hug, half collapse into you. You can see that their eyes are sort of glazed in a like confused waking up from sleep almost kind of look, as they recognize you and are like half using you to stand and half like fawning over you, and their speech is sort of jumbled together and a little bit slurred, as if like waking from a state of dream where they're not entirely sure, like almost sleep talking, and sleepwalking, as you have pulled your parents out of whatever they were in.
Jojo is going to try and look at the mirror that Danny left against the wall as his parents are badgering him, to see if he can see any movement in that.
You look into the mirror, and unlike what Fish had seen, or Dee Dee, or anyone had seen, frankly, you see your exact basement. The shelves, the carpet, the walls, and you watch a shadow move up the stairs.
Jojo looks across to Fish. I think we let one of the chorus in.
And that's
I
where
think
we
she,
end
like-
this episode
Damn it.
of Glenbrook.
Ah!
I was waiting for G to speak so you could stop it, Mike.
You have successfully
Shit.
rescued your parents from
Yay!
Oh, yay! Jojo, Chris is like, ah!
Should have
yeah.
left them.
Turns out, Norm was wrong. Jojo isn't from a different dimension or a demon. He was just a regular kid.
No, he's definitely a demon. He just.
And here, in April of 1986, the echo of the lost has broken through the barrier and entered into Glenbrook. That is the end of this episode. Episode 66-ish of our one
67.
shots. 67
Yeah,
of
the
our
last
one
was
shots.
66.
Fair enough. Of our one shots, this was a raucous time, guys. This was episode 24, I think, of our Glenbrook Nada campaign. Episode 23, Glenbrook Chronicles Not a Campaign. Hashtag Not a Campaign.
Yeah. And now we will let the chorus out. It's definitely not going to continue to be a campaign.
Yeah, you've let one member of the chorus out of their area. Very interesting.
But they owe us. They owe us.
No, they gave you a gift. They gave Jojo a gift.
Mm.
Jojo awoke them. They gave him an echo. Then they gave him an opportunity to get his family back, and they walked through the door. You left the door open. We're here now. So that is the end of this one shot and the end of our monthly one shots. If you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is just like these fine folks over on our Patreon, link in the description down below. While you're down there, click on that Discord link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation, talk about this game, all the other games, post your theories on what the hell's happening in my parallel world of Glenbrook, of New Arkham, between Mundus Novus, between Glenbrook Chronicles, Glenbrook Unhallowed, all of the fun things that we're doing here. Go check that out. Let me know your theories. Watch them all back. But for now, we're going to go around, do our introductions, get the hell out of here, and do our after show, which you can get at the $5 tier on our Patreon. So we'll start with the emotionally tormented Chris. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I'm Chris Akenekra. You can find me here in the Patreon one-shots, in the Patreon campaign The Rise, which was last weekend, and the Atari Twilight Age of Always, which is soon.
Soon. April something.
15th, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hell yeah. Perfect. Next up is our speedster herself, our technical marvel, the one who put the key in the door and opened it. Melissa, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, Melissa. I'm Draftier on the Discord. I'm gameswithstories.com on the web. I am here tomorrow for Mundus Novus. In April for Atari Twilight. G will remember the date. In
15th.
yeah, that's about it. That's where I am.
Perfect. Next up, we have rock solid karate master who can punch everything but feelings. Iquin, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hello. I'm Iquin. I am your friendly neighborhood Swedish person instead of Lightning Invoker. I hang out mostly on the Discord. I run the unMadeGaming Mastodon, so we can toot together. And if you also like to be mentally and emotionally tormented, I do run off-camera or like off-stream games of Call of Cthulhu every now and then. And I pick up players for that in said Discord. So if you hang out there with us, you might see when I post my next game.
Hell freaking yeah. And the true problem in Glenbrook, the thing that ties all the mysteries together, G, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Yeah, I think Fish is starting to make that connection that she is the problem.
Norm was right the whole time.
Yeah, she is cursed or is the curse. Hi, I'm the friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You'll find me modding for all the regular streams during the week when they happen, playing in all the Patreon stuff, including the campaign with Chris, The Rise, the second campaign with Melissa, which is tomorrow, Mundus Novus, the Age of Always, which will be April 15th before the next Rise episode. And I'm in the Discord all the time, mostly. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
That is it from us. Again, guys, if you want to watch the after show for this show and all the other shows we've done, go check them out over on our Patreon, the $5 tier. You can go over there right now, get a week for free, check it out, see what you like, and then help out the channel with that fun cassiola.
And we still have a spot open for these games, the one
That's
shot
correct.
tier. So if you're watching like Glenbrook, for example, and you you could create a character and you can join in these little mini campaign of Chronicle stories. So
And also be emotionally tormented by Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you too want to be emotionally tormented by me,
Yeah.
which people keep coming back for it. I don't know what's up. So it can't be me. If you
we
too
chose
want to
this.
if you too want to join the masochistic crew of my one shot groups,
Yeah.
please by all means join us at the one shot tier over on our Patreon. But that is it from us. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do our after show. We'll see you guys next time. So from all of us to you, bye bye.
Hi.